Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I am Connor Williams and we're back once again with another news report. We start this news report as always with our headline news, and our headline news is that Everton are not interested in loaning Moise Kean back out this summer, and he will stay unless a permanent offer is deemed acceptable that comes in. Kean is part of the phased return to training at Finch Farm due to COVID quarantine rules. This has come via Ben Islington of Sky Sports. I think this is very good from the board and the club. I think this is the right way to go. PSG wanting a loan, I feel like it's just a ploy so he can run down another year of his contract. And then obviously they could offer us less because 1 year less, you can't, it does take it off the player's price tag because they could run down the contract, which we're seeing now is apparently quite an easy thing. We're seeing some players rejecting contracts and stuff like that at the minute, and players saying they'll run down contracts if not sold. So, you don't want that, but we also want to sell him. Obviously, there were reports he was missing from Finch Farm yesterday. I saw a couple of people saying, does that mean he's off? Well, apparently not. He's one of a couple who I'll get into a little bit later that are being phased back. I think this is a really good decision by the club. I feel like bowing to PSG, who've just spent silly money on Hakimi. I think it's like 70 odd million. They've got the money. They've always had the money. It's not a financial thing from them. Or it is, but I don't think they can't afford it. I think they're being financially savvy and trying to have Everton over slightly. And I'm really glad the club is saying no. It's about time we put our foots down and we're like, no, we're not being taken for a mug. Sort it out. No. And I'm really happy about that. Whether he does go this summer, whether he stays, I think Benitez would use him. I think he is usable in our squad. We're after a striker. We've been linked with strikers. This would solve the striker issue a little bit. Give Calvert-Lewin somebody that he could, sort of bounce off. Although I must say, from watching Moise Kean, I do think he might be better out on the left or right than an actual out-and-out striker. His hold-up play wasn't quite good enough for me. I watched a lot of his games. I watched him at Salford. He was quite a couple of leagues lower, and still thought his hold-up play wasn't great. His first touch into his feet wasn't good enough for me. And Everton do like to play off their striker. How many times do we see Calvert-Lewin get involved in build-up play before making a run? So maybe Moise Kean's someone who plays as a second striker, or in Benitez's system maybe comes in from the right or the left. And obviously Richarlison will be either one of that he's not. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously this is all speculation. I'm not Benitez. Maybe he doesn't like him. He's not the first one. Ancelotti wasn't keen on him. But we'll have to wait and see. But I think personally holding fire on letting him go out on loan is a really good idea from the club. We also have the news Allen, Abdoulaye Doucouré, Bernard and Moise Kean are all doing individual training away from Finch Farm as they are isolating after returning from countries which require an isolation period. This has come via the Liverpool Echo. There's not much to say on this one. Rules are the rules. You got to follow them. The club are following them. There's not much more to say. It does answer a lot of questions to why certain individuals weren't photoed the other day, and Alan was one of them that I saw people saying, is he going to leave? It's nice to see that that's not the case. It isn't an issue like that. And I personally am quite happy to see that he's going to stay. Everton are also interested in Atalanta goalkeeper Pierluigi Gallini. The Italian keeper has interest from Inter Milan, Roma, AC Milan, Lazio and Tottenham. This has come from a Calcio Mercato via Sport Witness. He looks like a good little keeper. I don't think he would take Pickford out the side, but he would certainly compete with Pickford. He's a bit younger than Olsen. So you'd sort of have someone to push Pickford, for the foreseeable future, for as long as Pickford's at the club as well. And I think that's good. I think Olsen this year proved that Pickford does need that sort of, you're not the only goalkeeper here. We will drop you if needs be. And he's improved massively, and Pickford's having the Euros of his life. He's been really impressive, regardless of what the likes of Lee Dixon say. I've been really impressed with him. And I've had a couple of friends saying to me, he's not had a good season for Everton. I was like, no, he has. Like, bar the first couple of months and the hiccup and the Van Dijk tackle and getting over all the stuff, the backlash he received from that. Towards the end, I'd say he's one of our better players. He certainly improved a lot over the season, and he impressed me quite a lot as well. So it's nice to see him do well for his national team. We also have news that midfielder Stanley Mills has signed a contract, his first professional contract, signing a 2-year deal that'll see him there till 2023. I like this. Obviously, he must be quite good. We've offered him a first professional contract. We'll have to see what the future holds for him. But I really like this. Our youth system setup is something that sometimes gets a lot of stick. So hopefully he's one of the few that make it to the first team. We also have some news via Sport Witness, who quote journalist Ralph Seihuntend, saying that I've heard on about Denzel Dumfries. He says that Mino Raiola is trying to drum up interest in his player and trying to get more interest from him. The PSV right back does have a price tag that's risen from 15 million to 25 million. Some of that is going to the player, some of it's going to Raiola, and some of it is going to the club. I mean, we all thought that this was going to go up because he's having a great Euros and the Euro tax, and that can't be overlooked in the European tournament. But it sounds a lot like his agent's now drumming it up and drumming up the price tag because he wants a healthy cut. It's what all agents do. Raiola is one of the most notorious ones for it. He's Pogba's agent, and you always hear United fans saying about how much they hate Pogba's agent. Well, this is him. And it's the modern day. It's the modern day. Being a football agent nowadays, if you've got hot players that are hot property, that's the sort of luxury you can add on to that. It's basically his payday. And it's not the only one. He's also Moise Kean's agent, I think. So, but that's just the way it is. That's how football works nowadays. I don't agree with it, but it's how it works. We also have news that Everton are still in the race for Matheus Nunes, although no deal's been done yet. The Express claim the Brazilian remains on the Blues' radar, but talks of the move have sealed. That it's been sealed is premature. They just go on to say that the Blues are interested, Everton are interested, but there's nothing yet to say that the deal is a done deal. Everton have been one of several clubs offered Nunes by Jorge Mendes, and while the rule hasn't been moved out, the club were focusing on other options as well, which is obviously what we reported with Benitez. Benitez is said to have cooled because he's looking at other options first, which is fair enough. Jorge Mendes trying to get his player a move. We'll talk about Jorge Mendes very soon. But yeah, it's like I've just said with Raiola, they will do this agents because they take a cut. Obviously, Mendes has players at us in James Rodriguez. And the club are just seeing other options. Rafa Benitez has come in and he might have his own players that he'd quite like the look of. So we're just gonna have to wait and see how that one unfolds. We have also got the news from PSG Talk claiming that PSG have other options in the pipeline, including Lazio's Pablo Sarriba, in case they don't get Moise Kean. Rafa Benitez has said that he will decide whether Moise Kean's part of his plans or not. This has all come from the Liverpool Echo and obviously PSG Talk, citing Corriere dello Sport. It's basically just saying that Rafa will have the final say on it. He'll say whether Moise Kean stays or goes, and PSG are already looking at a replacement in case he says he wants to keep Moise Kean at the club. We'll have to wait and see on this one. I personally can see him going. I can see PSG paying the money we want, and I can see him going because he doesn't want to stay, and PSG really do want him. But we'll have to wait and see on this one. I just hope that we stick to our guns. We've also got the news that Everton face competition for Haris Serovic from West Ham and David Moyes. Sport Witness cites Ojogo, claiming that Everton and West Ham have both been in touch about the Swiss international, and that they reckon that he could be a possibility for 25 million. He's had a really good Euros. I really like the look of him. He's been playing in Portugal for Benfica for quite a while now. I mean, 25 million, I don't know, is that a lot of money nowadays? I was going to say it is. I don't know. I think he'd be offered more football at West Ham, more playing time. But we'll have to wait and see on this one. Also, West Ham have European football as a draw now, which we obviously don't. So we'll have to wait and see where he would personally like to go. Everton have also had a blow about Joshua Zirkzee. Inside Football have said that although he struggled at a relegated Serie A club, and Bayern Munich do want to get rid of him and he wants to leave Bayern Munich, he's looking at only German clubs. The journalist said that Sky Deutschland have said that Zirkzee's entourage are locked into talks with several other Bundesliga clubs, as he is keen to move away from Bayern Munich, but he's also keen to stay in the Bundesliga, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. We were after him last summer, missed out. I don't think it's, depending on the price of him, I don't think it's a massive blow for us, but we'll have to wait and see what price he goes for. I'd say anything over 25 mil, you should probably go with Serovic, who's a lot more proven. I did say watch out for Jorge Mendes news, and this is our last bit of news today. And Sport Witness have quoted Paolo Pagini telling Radio Marta, Jorge Mendes is offering James Rodriguez left and right. Milan would like to bet on a younger player with a lighter salary. They're thinking above all of Zirkzee of Verona. Napoli were in pole position, but Spalletti's mind, there are other priorities. So it looks like James Rodriguez, although he was in training the other day and it did cause a lot of excitement from Blues, it does look like he is on his way out. We'll have to see. Obviously, Jorge Mendes is trying to push his player and move. Like I've just said, they get cuts in it. It's all business for them. And James Rodriguez is a very luxury player, very well known, so he'd get a good cut out of it, especially for his wages. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, he might not go anywhere. It depends if anyone wants him. If AC Milan want a lighter salary and a younger player, then he probably isn't going to go there. Spalletti at Napoli thinks that there's better options. But we'll have to wait and see on James Rodriguez. I think in the number 10 role in the Rafa Benitez system that I've been reading up on, which, by the way, if you want to know a little bit more about how he would probably manage and set us up, Coach's Voices do a very good article on there. It was very interesting about his 4-5-1, 4-2-3-1. But he would do a number 10 role very well, and I think actually Ancelotti playing James Rodriguez out on the right last year was actually quite... I don't want to say it was the wrong move because he's got more European Cups than I could ever dream of. But I thought you'd get better out of him as a number 10. Whether I'm right or wrong on that, we'll have to wait and see. That is everything we've got time for today. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe. Let us know in the comment section. Do you agree with us putting our foot down over Moise Kean? Do you like the look of Serovic? Do you think James Rodriguez will leave? How good's the new training kit look? And how good has it seen some of the lads back at Finch Farm? I'm thinking Tom Davis, Ben Godfrey, the ones. And don't forget you can follow the Toffee Blues on Twitter. Their link's in the description down below, as is mine. And most importantly, guys, stay safe.